Okay guys, welcome back to our first episode of our Unity tutorials, and in this tutorial we're going to be making a very simple start menu, or you could call it a main menu. So let's go ahead and start that. We'll jump into our display. So all I've got here is a blank Unity project. You can make this in 2D or 3D, it doesn't really matter. But all we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, let's go ahead and create an image which will create us a canvas, which is what we want. Let's go and expand this, and then we could probably change the color of the image. Let's make it black, just so we have a background. So let's see, and then what we want to do is we want to add in a title. We can call this title. We'll change the size to about 50. Then we can go ahead and expand this. So let's see what that looks like. So we go to our scene, double click on our text. So there's our text. Let's try and get to it. Okay, we're going to do this the hard way. Okay, let's go ahead and change the color of it so we can see our text. And then we'll go ahead and center it, expand this. So there's our title. So we just need to flip this around somehow. And done. This is very annoying. Okay, so let's go focus on our title. So there we go. Here's our title. All we want to do is we want to make it probably slightly bigger, and then let's move it down a bit. Then we'll center that. We'll make our text probably about 100 maybe. See what that looks like. Okay, so that's fine. So we'll change the text to and make this main menu. We'll probably change the color of the text to about red. You can make it any color you want, but for this tutorial we'll just make it red. And then what we want to do is just go ahead and make some buttons. So let's click UI button, and we'll call this one play game button. We'll duplicate that, or actually, well, we won't. Let's go ahead and customize it first, and then we will go ahead and duplicate it. So let us make this bigger. Let's see. That will probably do. Go ahead and pop that in the middle. We shall change the color of it from white to about, let's say, green maybe, or make that dark green. And then we can change the text color to maybe white. We'll go ahead and change the font size to about 40. And then we'll change the text of the button from button to play game. Just like that. And then what we want to do is we'll copy that and duplicate it. So now we've got two buttons. We'll change the second button's name from play game to exit game. And then let's go ahead and move it down so that we can see both of them. And then we can change the text of it to exit. We'll make it exit game just to be consistent, or we could probably just to make it look even better, let's just go ahead and remove the game on each button. Don't really need it, but we'll keep it like that so that we have a button for playing the game and a button for exiting the game. So now what we want to do is we actually want to go and create another scene. So let's go right click on scene on our scenes folder, go scroll down to create, and then go down to scene. We'll name this game scene. And then we'll open up our game scene. We'll save our main menu scene. And now for us to navigate into our game scene, we need to add this to our build settings. So we'll go File, scroll down to Build Settings, and then we will add Open Scenes. So now we've got our game scene in our settings. We'll go ahead and close that. We'll go back to our sample scene. We'll do the same thing. Well, first of all, let's rename this to main menu scene, reload that, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll add this to our build settings, so add open scene. And then what we want to do is we'll go ahead and create another folder in our assets folder. We'll call this scripts, and in here we're going to add a new C# script, and we'll call this we'll just call it menu manager. And this script is what's going to control our buttons. So we'll add two methods in here, one for playing the game and one for exiting the game. So let's go ahead and open this script. So while that opens, let me just check and see. Okay, we don't need Google. So has that opened yet? So let's go open. Okay, so there it is. So in here, let's go and copy that, and then what we want to do is we want to go using Unity Engine.scene management, and then we don't need our start or our update methods. We can delete those. So let us create a new method called public. It needs to be public so that we can use them in the inspector. So let's go public void play game, and in here we will first of all make a read-only string. So let's go private read-only string. We'll say game scene is equal to the name of the game scene, which is game scene. This needs to be the exact name, including capitals. We will duplicate that. Actually, we don't need to duplicate that, so we've only got our game scene to switch to, so we'll go ahead and leave that like that. And then in our method called play game, we want to go and say scene manager dot load scene, and then we'll pass in our name of the scene, which is our game scene, just like that. And then for our exit game button, let's go and say public void exit game. And the only thing we want to do in here was we want to go and say application dot quit, and what that's going to do is it's going to quit your entire game from only when you launch the game from your desktop. So if you press on the exit button while you're in the Unity window, nothing's going to happen. But if we go and press play game, nothing happens yet because we need to go and assign these buttons. So if you click on your play button and you scroll down in the inspector down to this on click, here we just go add an on click event, and then we need to use the script, our menu manager. But first of all, let's go ahead and create an empty object, and we'll call this menu manager. And then on our menu manager, we are going to add our menu manager script. So that's going to give us access to those functions. So let's go back to our play game. Now we can drag our menu manager into this on-click event. And then over here where it says no function, let's go down to menu manager and look for play game. So now that play game will register. Whenever you click this button, it will call that play game function. The same thing for exit game. We'll add an on-click event, we'll drag in our main menu manager, and then where it says no function, scroll down to main menu and click on exit game. So let's go ahead and play this and see what happens. So if we press play, we get sent to our game scene, and obviously if we click on our exit button, nothing will happen because we're in our Unity editor. But if you click on this button while you have built the game and launched it from your desktop, it will exit the game. So that is it for this tutorial. A very nice and simple tutorial, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video, and we have a lot more tutorials coming every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.